Shalom. Before I get started, I would like to give all praises and infinite glory unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule and teach well, and peace and safety to the Akim that spread across the four corners of the world that's pushing out this truth with all diligence and putting their lives on the line to do so. This is the brother Karas Zahi out of the GMS Atlanta camp. Just here with a quick lesson in particular, going into about, how the grinding shall cease, and with everything, that's going on, the number of, unemployment people here in America has shot up, at a very high rate, and that's because, all because the scriptures say so. Now, even if these people, go back to work eventually or whatever the case may be, it still doesn't take away from the fact that people has lost their jobs. People are losing their homes and the comfortability that that they had once before in America is no longer there because they're seeing that America can actually be on the decline, so to speak, man. But without further ado, I'm gonna just get this scripture in Ecclesiastes 12th chapter. I started fourth verse. It says, "And the door shall be shut in the streets." So like he says, "And the door shall be shut in the streets, and with the sound of grinding is low, and he shall rise up as the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low." So like I'm gonna read up in verse 3. So like it says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few." So it says, when you look into that word cease, it literally says to decease from labor, which is exactly what's going on, man. People are losing their jobs, left and right because it's made a lot of these mom and pop businesses, aren't being funded, like they were built to, because why the customers, are getting laid off as well, and the government aid isn't gonna, keep their business up and going, man, So that's what we see, and the men of the Lord, starting with Apostle Sahara on down, here at GMS have been saying this, for 30 plus years, man. About how these people, are going to start losing their jobs. America, is going to, fall pursuant to what Revelation the 18th chapter. It says Babylon. Matter of fact, I'll get it. It's Revelation 18. I started at 1. It says, "And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightning with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and become the habitation of devils, and the hold." It says, "In the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird." That Babylon as we all know, is speaking of America. Which when you go into the Hebrew of it, it's Babal, which means confusion. And America is the land of confusion. Because even a quick story, even these Edomites, who I work with, they're totally confused, on what, is going on with, this whole coronavirus thing, man. They don't know, if if the numbers are true or if the numbers false. Why are certain stores opening back up and certain stores are staying closed? Why are certain states opening up and other states are closed? Because America is the land of confusion. They confuse the people, the citizens of America, to control them. How can you control, people with confusion and with fear, man? That's why the chip is going to be pushed. They say, don't forget all of your worries. Take this chip, and you'll be able to buy and sell. So I'll keep read that second verse again. It says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen and become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. You see, that's going into the destruction of America, man. Which these people, losing a job and not being able to work. Some people, even their unemployment isn't even going through like that, like it's supposed to, man. So the grinding is ceasing here in America, which brings a lot of prophecies along with it, man. The famine, not only the famine of food, but the famine of the word, the brothers being removed from the streets, so this thing is taking off. So I'm going to read this fourth verse again. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. So these people, are going to be, on lockdown, man. Now, even though, like I said before, certain places is opening back up, don't let that fool you, man. Don't let it fool you from what is actually going on. And it says, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. That's going into, the how music, is basically, isn't the same, man. Even, with, these artists and celebrities being on lockdown, they haven't even been, able to do their concerts and their shows, which they were saying concerts basically isn't gonna come back, man. For I think it was like a couple of years, So that's the route that we're going to, in order for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah to return, man. Just a glimpse, a slight glimpse on the Lord showing us, who believe that America, is falling, man. And I just wanted to touch on that, very briefly. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to go ahead and close out by giving all praises and infinite glory into Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Jim Mercy, rule and teach well. And peace and safety to the Akim that spread across the four corners of the world, that's pushing out this truth with all diligence and putting their lives on the line to do so. Until the next time, I say shalom.